Hello guys, good morning, good day, good afternoon. It depends where you are watching from. So on today's program, I would like to take you around the park. So let me show you around first of all. So this is the park where I am. It's a little bit windy today. So guys, without wasting most of your time, most of you, we are following the event that went on in this year, or just some days ago, the NATO summit that was hosted in Vilnius. At the beginning, the Ukrainian president says that he's not going. I hope my voice is coming out clear, because the wind is a little bit much. So Ukraine said that they will not go. Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, said that he will not go to the NATO meeting because he wants them to accept Ukraine into NATO. You know, since this special military operation, as Russia called it, started, Ukraine has been trying everything possible in their power to turn this problem into a global war. Maybe it was a promise that was given to him that if he does such a thing, or if he accepts for war to break out in Ukraine, that they will help him to make it a global war, so that they will join hands collectively to destroy Russia. Let me remind most of you what really happened at the beginning. Around, if I'm not mistaken, 98, around 98, NATO started inviting Ukraine to come and join NATO. By that time, a lot of Ukrainians and their government are not interested to antagonize Russia. But around 2008, NATO raised their pressure on Ukraine to join the alliance. And by that time, a lot of intellectual politicians in the Western nations understand the game. Oh, noise is coming, the train is coming over. Look at it. Look at where I am. It's coming. Sorry for that. I'm around the park, so the weather is a little bit good today. So I said, let me stroll. So those politicians, those diplomats, we are telling United States and other Western nations that going into Ukraine is a red line for Russia. It will cause war in Europe. They don't want it. But most of the European nations don't really, or today's politicians never understand how America plays their politics. America knows that they don't need Ukraine. for anything. But Britain knows that since 78 years ago that Second World War ended, they want to keep Germany down. And gradually, Germany is rising beyond the level they kept them. And what Germans are using to develop their economy is coming from Russia. So, for them to put stop to it, they must use Ukraine, which a lot of politicians understand before and kicked against it, distanced themselves. NATO wind down because America knows that he can't do it alone. He needs the collective West to be able to achieve his plan in Europe. You know, if I say United States, it's both US and United Kingdom, that's the British. Now, as they are starting pushing for Germany to stop all their projects they have with Russia, Germany refused. Germans were resisting. Germans were signing more contracts with Russia, building more economic infrastructure, calling it civilian infrastructure. And Britain, both Britain, France, and United States, they want to destroy Germany so that they will remain in German territory. And for them to achieve it, they must collapse all the whole economic infrastructure that is helping Germany to develop beyond their expectation. There come Ukraine. England, the most criminal empire on planet, is Britain. They are the one advising United States. For us to collapse Germany, we must put fire in Ukraine. Use the pretext to collapse Germany. Everything that is happening in Ukraine is because of Germany. Many people don't know it, but people that understand the politics that America and Britain has been playing since the end of Second World War, they understand that all these games is directed against Germany. So, between that time, a lot of German established diplomats knows all these games, and they were dodging until Angela Merkel entered into power. Angela Merkel was resisting the whole pressure until they find out that America has been listening to the Angela Merkel's telephone conversation, making her to understand that every communication she's having with Russia, they are in the middle, listening from Russia and listening from Germany. Now, I don't know, maybe some evidence we have presented before Angela Merkel that made her to collude in setting up her country. You know, all that the Germans did in Ukraine was a setup against Germany, because had it been Angela Merkel want peace, want the development of Germany to continue, she could have pressurized Yanukovych of Ukraine to implement the Minsk agreement they had with Russia. Rather, she started dancing to the tune of Britain and America. What is the tune, you may ask? Allowing Ukraine to circumvent those agreements, allowing Ukraine using every pretext not to implement the agreement. That means Angela Merkel is the one that lay the path, the expressway that lead to the collapse of German economy today. As I'm making this video, as I'm talking to you, the German economy is in tatters. As they are saying, they are going to destroy the Russian economy. But in the recent, the thing that was dismantled is German economy. So let me step into Ukraine and NATO. As Russia find out that all the whole agreement was a game to set up a strong military that will challenge the order of the day within Russia borders. And Ukraine has voluntarily presented themselves as cannon fire to be used by NATO to achieve their dream inside Russia. The best defense in every military activities is to attack. Russia massed their military along Ukrainian borders. And they did not mass this military to attack Ukrainians, to kill the Ukrainian people, to destroy the infrastructure. They amassed this military to pressurize Ukraine to come to a negotiating table. For Ukraine openly and also sign that they will never join NATO, that there will be a bridge between NATO and Russia. At the beginning, Ukraine refused until Russian military entered the capital of Ukraine, Kiev. As they entered the capital, Ukraine now opened a door for negotiation in Turkey. Good. As the negotiation was going on, there were compromises. The today's Ukraine government, that is Zelensky, agreed to a lot of terms set out by Russia. And those terms, a lot of them, if you go through these documents, you will even wonder that Russia will even give such a concession to Ukraine, you know. I surprised when I saw those documents. I went through it. You know, Ukrainians understand the risk in refusing the offer given by Russia. But there come a part. As they have started signing a lot of agreements in Turkey, England Prime Minister flied to Ukraine capital. For what? To stop the Ukrainians from going into agreement with Russia. Who sent the Prime Minister of England to Ukraine? It was the NATO Union ordered by United States. Okay, he went there, he saw the whole agreement, everything discussed. He now made a very powerful promise to Ukraine. I would like you to abolish all these agreements you sign with Russia. NATO will give you everything you need to destroy Russia. And we will even keep a door open for you to join NATO so that NATO will step into the war and Russia will become history. They gave Zelensky the best offer that whoever you are, unless if you have a very powerful, intelligent officers, you will then figure out, or they will tell you, don't do it, because this thing is going to collapse your country, your economy, everything about you will become history. The West made Ukraine to understand that Russian government is not stable. The economy is surviving today because of EU. Immediately Russia take action, they will destroy the economy. Putin will become history. Russia will be divided. America will take this side. England will take this side. France will take this. They have already shared Russia. How they are going to share and benefit everything coming from Russia. Ukraine dropped their meetings with Russia. They denounced it. Zelensky went and put law in their constitution. Whosoever that tried to negotiate with Russia is committing treasonable felony, making it impossible for any Ukrainian to open a door of negotiation with Russia. That he get it wrong. So, at the end of the day, the war breaks out. All we have been hearing from NATO countries, we will stand by Ukraine, support Ukraine as long as it takes. That has been the music they just released, to the entire world. Everybody was sharing the ideas with them, and they were telling you how Russia is going to collapse. American president was telling their people that ruble is now in tatters, is now rubble, that everything have destroyed. In reality, Russia has become stronger. Russian military that was peace military are now military capable country that can be able to overrun the entire Europe if they wishes. They have gathered combat experience. They have learned a lot about the NATO's tactics and everything. Russians are upgrading their military equipment. Russians are upgrading their military war simulation softwares to face the real battle that they have learned from Ukraine. Because NATO has been training Ukrainian soldiers since 1998. So all their tricks and cons on how to fight has revealed itself in that small portion of land. And Russia says, thank you to all of you. But now, the most interesting part of all this thing that I'm saying, is what happened in this last NATO meeting. Normally, if they're having NATO meetings, is this war starts, Ukraine do sit in that room where they're having NATO meeting as if Ukraine is now part of NATO. You see all the whole counter-offensive that Ukraine tried to develop. Ukraine stand under 3 days. Ukraine lost over 600 soldiers. Almost half of the equipment that was supplied to them by the West was wiped out. Without them even coming close to the first defense line of Russia. Russia has up to 3 defense lines set up. All this counter-offensive that Ukraine has been pushing, they haven't even come close to the first line. Lives were wiped out, equipment destroyed, and Russians are still standing. Their economy is one of the best economies in the world today. Europeans are in recession. American economy is, is in tatters. A lot of countries are now running away, running behind the BRICS organization just to save themselves. So, in this last NATO meeting, Ukrainian president was there. But do you know that he was not noticed by nobody? Hey. Hi. Very, very bad. What did I say? Very, very bad. Ukrainian president was invited. They turned him to stupid animal. Even he was forcing himself to shake hands with people that came to that meeting. Now, oh my God, where is Ukraine today? NATO are now shouting on Ukraine. The first minister of Britain shouting on Ukraine that that NATO is not Amazon shop where you go and buy things and they ship it to you. But you guys, we are the ones that, hey, Chineke God, the people telling Ukrainians today that NATO is not Amazon, where you can go and purchase whatever you like. They are the same people that pressurize the government of Ukraine today not to go into agreement with Russia. And now, you are telling these people that NATO is not Amazon. They have lost territories that are supposed to be part of their country. They have lost all the most trained soldiers of Ukraine. They have lost almost everything. NATO didn't even give them any roadmap. They may give you roadmap, things you may achieve before you become their member. No roadmap was given. Nothing. Nobody even, even they said that the security guarantee they were discussing and trumpeting all over social media. In this meeting, NATO is going to give special security guarantee to Ukraine. No one appeared. None. What did they promise him? G7. It's G7 that will look into that thing, and it's G7 that will give G7. I thought that G7 is an economic organization, the strongest economy, 7 of them, are now the ones that are going to give Ukraine what they call security guarantee. Have you seen it? These same people are the ones that choose Saddam Hussein to become the president of Iraq. They worked with Saddam Hussein. They swim, they dance, they dinner, they did everything with Saddam. They came back, they killed him. They were tangling with Libya. Russia was telling the Libyan president at that time, be careful. Be careful of what you wish for yourself. These people are not your friend. He worked with CIA. He even provided his territory where CIA was torturing a lot of their prisoners in Africa. He thought that he's now the king. They came back, they killed him, they destroyed his country. Once they were with the Taliban, giving Taliban weapons to fight the Soviet. They trained the Taliban. They were friends. They were the fellows, hanging together, dancing together, doing everything. They went back, they killed their fellows, they destroyed Afghanistan, and they ran away. Today, it's Ukraine today is Ukraine. What a shame. What a shame. Oh my God. I'm afraid of what may fall on Ukraine. But the other side, that I'm not all that afraid, is that Russia is not all that evil. Russia is not all that evil. Because if Russia find out that they have dropped these people, Russia will, Putin will call Zelensky and told him, where is your NATO? As long as he take with military support, they are even running out of equipment. Where are you? Your territory, everything. I know that Russia will give them room for discussion. But if Putin lock his mind, the only place that will remain in Ukraine is Lviv. Mark my word. If Russia want to punish Ukraine, the remaining Ukraine you will be hearing is Lviv. Here. They will take everything, because now that NATO, they have seen that Russia is unbreakable. Russia was and remained the backbone of Soviet Union. And all they have been playing in the international community as if as if they are crawling is all lies. That Russia has been strong and remains strong is not a joke. The only joke we have today, the only film actor we have today is Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, which is very, very bad. Very bad. In all these things that has happened, NATO have started gradually dumping Ukraine and Zelensky. But I know what Ukrainians can do. Don't underestimate Ukrainians. If they find out that NATO just used them to achieve their rubbish, whatever, they are ready to bring terrorism inside Europe. Mark my word. They are ready to terrorize Europe until, mark my word, these people are not people you can joke with. Ukrainians, you can't even joke with them. They can go, they are formidable people. Leave what they are doing with Russia, but they are very powerful people, and their mind and soul and spirit is very strong. So, if Europe is choosing to deal with Ukraine in a way that they lick ice cream and they dump them, I think the last game they will play is in that country, because those people, I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of Ukraine because they are ready to kill whoever they want to kill wherever they find you. Got me right. So either the NATO will sabotage Ukraine, allow Russia to destroy them completely for them on their behalf, so that most of them will see the next day. But if they just dump them like this, you will hear that most of the capital of Europe will start burning. Take it or you leave it. That's all I have for you, my people, for this video. So we'll meet us some other time, and chapeau, bye bye for now.